To make a true South African milk tart, also called Melktert, we start with a very straightforward yet slightly unique sweet pastry. Not biscuits, not puff pastry, but easy enough for anyone to throw together in a jiffy, and perfect for holding together our silky smooth, iconically wobbly custard filling. Into a bowl goes 250 grams or 2 cups of plain flour, 100 grams or 3/4 cups powdered sugar or caster sugar, 8 grams or 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 2 grams or 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix that all well to combine. Then dice up 125 grams or 1 stick of butter into equally smallish cubes. Work the butter into the flour mix until it resembles somewhat of a sandy beach texture. Work quickly so the butter don't melt. It's okay and even preferred to have a little visible piece of butter here and there. Finally, we crack an egg and whisk it properly before adding to the mix. Combine until it just comes together into a dough. Do not overmix or beat it in a stand mixer. Once together, you flatten it out slightly, then wrap it in Greta wrap or parchment paper and place it into the freezer to chill for 15 minutes. Heat your oven to 170 degrees Celsius or 335 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll bake this in a 24 cm or 9.5 inch in diameter by 3 cm or 1.5 inches tall round ceramic baking dish. You can use a spring form or tart mold if you have one of those. Butter whichever baking vessel you chose all over the insides. Once your pastry is chilled, flour your workbench and pastry very lightly. Before gently, but not too gently, rolling it out into a thin, roundish shape that comfortably covers your baking vessel. To make it easy and make you look fancy, roll it onto the rolling pin, then carefully and lovingly unroll it over the tart mold. Get the pastry into all the nooks and crannies. The pastry process needs to happen quickly and stuff needs to be cold. If the butter melts, you end up with problems. And as we know by now, avoiding those are easier than dealing with them. Trim the excess pastry and tidy up the rim. No one likes a messy rim. The leftover pastry keeps well in the freezer. Or bake up a few cookies for yourself or unload the calories onto someone else, like your partner, kids or neighbor. Chill the uncooked, lined pastry shape in the freezer for a few minutes, especially if it gets a bit warm. Grab a piece of parchment and cut it into a square slightly bigger than your tart mold. Fold it into a triangle and place the sharp tip over the center. Snip off the end in somewhat of a circular cut. Place it onto your pastry, making sure it fits snugly. Pour a layer of rice, lentils or beans onto it. This is called blind baking, meaning we bake the pastry without any filling inside. Developed by a blind baker who mistaken his pie weights for eggs a long time ago. Or maybe someone else, who knows, I just made it up. Bake your pastry for 12 minutes with your eyes closed. Then remove the parchment paper and rice. Bake for another 12 minutes, open until golden brown. During this time, it might rise in the middle. Press it down gently with a spoon if it does happen. Once cooked, remove it very carefully from the shape and let it cool down on a wire rack. Or leave it in the pie mold if you plan on simply serving it from there. While the pastry cools, we make our very simple custard filling. Into a large saucepan goes 1 liter or 4¼ cups whole milk, 150 grams or 3/4 cups of sugar, 10 grams or 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, 30 grams or 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 1.5 grams or 1/4 teaspoon of fine salt, 100 grams or 2 large eggs. Give them a good whisking before adding them to avoid weird lumps. In a separate bowl, mix 50 grams or 6 tablespoons of cornstarch with 75 grams or 5 tablespoons water or milk into a slurry. Add it to the mix and gently heat while continuously whisking. Do not walk away from this. You will ruin it if you do. Cook on medium heat until just starting to bubble and thicken. Eventually it'll be beautifully silky and smooth like so. If you end up with a few little lumps because you got distracted by Candy Crush, simply pour it through a fine mesh sieve. If not, and it's looking sexy, then pour it into your tart case. Make sure the top is level and the custard poured to the brim. Sprinkle with cinnamon powder, which is optional but highly necessary. Any leftover custard can be eaten as is or with Melktert pudding, which I have a video for, by the way. Place your Melktert into the fridge to properly set. Do not rush this quickly in the morning before the in-laws come for Sunday lunch. It won't end well. Well, it won't end well anyway, but the dessert will be the cherry on the cake. Do it the night before so your Melktert has plenty of time to cool and set into this delicious dessert we all love dearly. When ready, you carefully cut it. And if done correctly, marvel at your masterpiece and that gentle little custard wobble. And only share it with those you can tolerate. But most importantly, go live a happy life.